right, folks, and welcome to MetaManiacs. We're doing a quick deck profile here. This is Matt Smith. Matt, why don't you say hi to everyone?
Hello.
Matt just took second place at the first cash tournament for Metacross, the $2,000 tournament, constructed tournament at Gen Con 2018, Saturday, August 4th. Matt, what were you playing today?
Sure, yeah. I'm playing a combo mill aggro deck based around a lot of different cards, but the mill side is based around things like Hawkman and Bane, and the combo side is based around Blue Beetle, Raza Ghoul, Unexpected Turnaround, and Absence of Fear.
Okay, so you have a number of, I guess, pretty conventional deck choices here for mill, but then you also have some pretty unconventional ones. So why don't you tell us a little bit about sort of the, well, what's Alfred doing in there is the main question I've got.
Sure, yeah. So let's just go through the roles of the characters. Alfred is a tutor. He doesn't get played very often for a couple of reasons. One, because he sets you back on the board, and two, because he's kind of slow. I play him because I have two different directions I'm trying to go with my deck, and I need to be able to get them consistently in order for things to run and get the stuff I want. So I can kind of take back whatever tempo I lose with Alfred by using Blue Beetle, either using Blue Beetle to play Alfred, or searching for Blue Beetle, and then using Blue Beetle in conjunction with another character to still have character parity.
Awesome. And then how about the rest of the characters? You want to step through those with us?
Yeah. So Blue Beetle is largely an MP generator. He does 4 by himself, and then he can put down another character and get you just a ton. I very frequently play, 8 to 11 MPs worth of events during my turn, and then end up with 7 or more still at the end of that turn, thanks to that character. Hawkman gives you gas while also making sure that it keeps card parity. Like, you get to make sure you have all the stuff you need to play, but then simultaneously it's milling for when you're trying to go with that strategy. Bane is basically the best mill character. He's the only one that mills 2, but he also is pretty tough with the battle cards. He can play every battle card in my deck, and he's got a 6, so he survives a lot of other stuff. So he's good. He also generates 3 MP. Raz is there for me to get pieces back that I might be missing, but he's also there to help swarm the board in later parts of the game. And then I have one dead man because I get to use him with a lot of other cards like Raz to just make sure I've got a lower battle card count, and I need to make sure that I get them, so buying them back is important.
Awesome. Okay, so looking at the events here, you obviously have Birds of a Feather, which is sort of a staple in these mill decks, especially the ones that are focusing on draw power. You've also got Unexpected Turnaround. Why don't you tell us about your combos that you perform with that?
Sure, yep. We've got Unexpected Turnaround is one of the best board wipes because it gets around things like the Batman that protects against normal board wipe. And then it also lets you rebuy your comes into play abilities. I have almost every character in my deck that comes into play abilities, so being able to reuse those is really important.
Okay, and then here's a big one. So Absence of Fear. I do not see people usually doing mill decks with this, so tell us what you were going for with that. I know I saw it be very effective for you during the rounds.
Sure. So I've got 3 Absence of Fear, and that is the only card that isn't really part of the whole mill strategy, and that is for the secondary strategy. Essentially what you want to do with Absence of Fear is you want to get to a position where you play Unexpected Turnaround to return your opponent's board to their hand. Then you want to play Raz into Blue Beetle into Hawkman, or Blue Beetle into Blue Beetle into Hawkman, to have 3 characters in play yourself and draw some cards. You're using Birds of a Feather along the way to make your hand extra large, and then you just use Absence of Fear to basically start your opponent at turn 1 again. They have 5 random cards because their hand gets shuffled back in, and they have no board. So essentially, it's like I'm saying, let's start the game over, except for I've got 10 cards in hand, 3 characters in play, and you are just a normal guy with 5 cards in hand.
That is just beautiful. So essentially with the Absence of Fear, you're looking to remain flexible with your deck and be able to adapt to an aggressive strategy when you need to, but you are foregoing the mill strategy when you do that, correct?
Yes, the mill strategy is very good. Against decks that aren't prepared for it, it can really beat them. You just play defensively, and a lot of people play a lot of card draw, and then you just kind of get them with the mill strategy. But there are decks that you just can't beat with the mill strategy. There are a lot of good hate cards these days. Catwoman's very good to refuel stuff. There's the Garrison
Regiment.
Regiment that has all sorts of ways of getting cards back.
Yep.
And against those guys, you don't want to just lose. So that's when you want to use the unexpected turnaround, absence of fear, swarm strategy. Essentially, when you plan to do that, you're just playing like you're some sort of Blue Beetle swarm deck, except for you have the God draw because you set it up over a bunch of turns.
Sure. Okay, so now real quick, let's just go over your battle card selection here. What do you got the 3 ofs here?
Yep, so for 3 ofs I have the old Justice League Strength 1. I mostly play this because it can be played by Alfred when necessary. It can be played by every character in the deck, and it gains 2 MP. Sometimes there was a point where I used to play the 2 ranked battle card that each player draws a card, but I preferred this strength one because when I'm trying to not mill them, I don't want them to draw any cards. I'm trying to run them out of resources because they just have those 5 cards to my 10. I don't want them to draw a card, so I stuck with this one instead. And furthermore, it allows Alfred to play it when necessary.
Okay.
And then in the I have the 2 rank intelligence from Justice League, which is just one of the best cards. It's a staple. I've got a lot of different parts in my deck, so being able to filter a card for another card, draw 2, and then put a card I don't need on the bottom is pretty important. It's pretty powerful, and it gains an MP. Then I've got 3 of the rank 4 intelligence from Justice League, and that allows me to tutor for a suite of 5 different rank 5 battle cards that I use.
Okay, so what are those? What do you got here?
So we use 2 of the Justice League Intelligence rank 5 that can allow you to shuffle a battle card back in. My battle card count is a little low. It's not super low, but it's a little low, and I have to play defense a lot, so I need to make sure that I'm flush with them. So I use that to keep making sure I put more back in my deck. Then I've got the Green Lantern common rank 5 intelligence battle card. It's just a really good defensive card. It can turn all my redundant Alfreds and absence of fears if I'm not playing that, or whatever card I'm not looking to play in this game, into blocks, which is really important. Then I've got the Green Lantern Strength 5, which allows you to discard and draw 2. It's just super powerful. It's just very good. And I only play one of them because I only have room for one, and I don't want to draw too many cards. I just need to draw the amount I need. So the last battle card I have is the rare from Justice League rank 5. It lets you destroy linked characters in team attacks, and that's just really important because the team attack decks are bad matchups. They get lots of free VP that it's difficult to interact with.
Okay, well, you faced a number of decks today. What do you think your hardest matchup was?
Yeah, my hardest match, it's kind of a tie. I beat the team attack deck twice, but it was a really hard matchup. He's the only guy who took games off me in the Swiss. It's really tough. The thing is, like, they're so fast you can't mill them. So I basically have to, like, set up a really good unexpected turnaround, absence of fear, and then hope that they've exhausted a lot of their battle cards so that they won't draw so many, and then just kind of outgrind them that way. But mill is probably my worst matchup, just because they're a little bit more dedicated, and if they have, like, Batmans, then they just have extra mill cards from me, and then they'll win that race.
Yeah, and the finals was exactly what you were facing, another mill deck. So how did that go for you?
I lost,
Well,
but
yes.
it was in 3. I lost the first game. It felt kind of like I wasn't in it at any point. The second game, I felt like I crafted it to win from the very beginning. The third game, I kind of just didn't stick to my game plan, and I don't want to say he got lucky because we both drew tons of cards, which kind of gets rid of luck, but he was able to deal with my Banes with his Batmans, and that was the difference maker because he milled another card and he kept me from using Bane to keep parity with him.
Sure. Do you, last question I have for you here, do you have any tweaks after today's tournament that you think you would make to this deck?
I don't believe so. I only have 4 cards in the deck that aren't from Justice League. Actually, there's one card we didn't talk about.
Oh, you're right. I'm
which
sorry.
is
Yeah,
the,
let's go right into that.
Multi-strength and intelligence battle card from Attack on Titan. It's also in Batman. This card is very, very good. I don't have room to fit any more, but it's a great card because it lets you rebuy Banes when you need to. It lets you rebuy Dead Man if you need to block a bunch and then you get it back. And additionally, it doesn't draw a card, so when I attack with it, in matchups where I get really low on cards, it won't draw me a card, and it's still a battle card that can get me a VP, so that's great.
All right, yeah, well, I mean, this deck is super potent. It's certainly something that I think people are going to want to take a look at if they're looking at playing in some of the future tournaments coming in organized play. Is this something you think you're going to keep playing with after this?
I think I will. I think that the two strategies are very hard to counter both. So yeah, I might have bad matchups here and there, but you're not supposed to win everything. So I think I'll probably stick with it. One piece of advice for anyone who tries to play this deck is that you got to make sure that you're using your unexpected turnarounds when you still have a character drop. I've seen people like use them and then leave past the turn with no character stuff, and that's not what you want to do. You need to like do the whole combo when you can do everything on your turn. And it's all sorcery speed, so your opponent can't interact with that.
All right, well, that is some sage wisdom. Thanks so much, Matt, for sitting down and showing us your deck today. And congratulations on your second place win, $500 coming your way. And are you going to be playing in some of the OP tournaments later this year as well?
If I can make it out to them. I made it out to a lot of other events that Panini did before. And I live in Seattle, so there's not a lot of opportunities sometimes, but we'll see where they're held.
Any place in Seattle where people can come find you if they're in the area and want to play?
No, you should message me on Facebook. If that's the case.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Matt. And this has been a quick deck profile for MetaManiacs, so hope you guys enjoyed.